Hello, and welcome back to your favorite podcast,
De-Influenced.
Do you notice anything special about me today?
You're dressed like Christmas?
No.
Shoot. No.
Okay. I am wearing the lipstick that Taylor Swift usually wears.
There was no way I was going to guess that.
Taylor Swift's makeup artist, who I follow, she's very discreet. She posts nothing. I'm sure she's got some heavy NDAs.
Yeah.
She shared a link to the lipstick that Taylor Swift wears, and it like immediately sold out.
How many followers does she have? What's her name?
Lori Turk.
So
Taylor
wait.
Swift's makeup artist is Lori Turk.
How did you find out that this was her makeup artist?
Because I know everything. Taylor Swift has like a team. Like she has a stylist that she always works with, a hair girl that has always done her hair, a makeup artist. Like these people go way back with her.
Yeah.
And so Lori has always been her makeup artist. Anyway, like I follow Lori, you know, she never pops up. And then all of a sudden, Lori Turk is on my stories posting a story. And I'm like, what's she doing? All she does is probably follow Taylor Swift around. And she posted the red NARS lipstick that Taylor Swift wears. Here's the thing.
Was it a commissionable link?
No. And I was like, girlfriend, you could have quit your job and like you just be a little blogger now, make up a beauty guru. No, I'm sure Taylor takes really good care of her,
Yeah.
honestly. The only thing was the creamy version that Taylor wears was sold out. So I bought the velvet version. So I'm actually wearing it's not the exact same. It's the same color. Anyway, so yes, I am dressed like Christmas. I got this. I panicked. I panic ordered because I saw all the bloggers start posting their Christmas decor the day after Halloween. And you know, it's always been the day after Thanksgiving that we start posting Christmas decor. And I panicked. So I went on Amazon and was like, okay, I can't buy Christmas decor. Like let me buy some Christmas sweaters. So I bought the sweater. So
wow.
and a welcome mat.
You know what's so funny is we're matching. And we didn't even plan it.
Yeah, there's only really 7 colors out there, so the chances are
pretty high.
But so what else is going on? We have a. Did I tell you that I did it?
Did what?
Okay, so the wedding, my brother's wedding, is this weekend. It's a miracle. Did you ever think we would be saying this?
Well, yeah. I mean, 3 seasons of The Matchmaker?
Yeah, 3 seasons.
3 seasons.
And I'm so excited. I'm so obsessed with Olivia. They moved back to Nashville, as you guys know. That's probably where they're going to end up for good. And which I hate, but it's okay. I understand it. They love it.
I don't know. You might be close to moving there on the path that you're on.
Oof, we'll see. Maybe when I finish the book, we'll talk about it. But okay, so I really wanted to. This wedding process has been very stressful for them. And sweet Olivia, she's so sweet that I think that sometimes it's hard for her to make decisions because she doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, which is just, it's the best thing about her. Because I'm like, Olivia, who cares? It's your wedding. You do what you want to do. And she's like, I want everybody to be happy and comfortable. And like, it's really sweet.
Olivia and I are such a counterbalance to the Austin family.
Yeah.
A great counterbalance to the Austin family.
It's so true. Like, we need y'all. So I called and I'm sharing this because this will come out after their wedding.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'm going to surprise them. Did I already talk about this on the podcast?
No.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I called their wedding planner and I was like, is there anything that Landon and Olivia really wanted for their wedding, but they cut because of budget? Like, you know, or they just like decided it wasn't smart and they wanted to spend money like in a smarter way. And she's like, oh, well, there was this room that there's like a cocktail hour in, and Olivia really wanted to drape one side of it to make it feel more intimate. I was like, no. I was like, no, I'm not doing drapes. I was like, okay, what else? And she's like, well, there's like, you can get like a wedding stylist and she can come the day of and help all the bridesmaids. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm looking for like the wow factor. I'm looking for the oohs and the ahs. And she was like, well, there was something that your brother really wanted. I was like, oh, tell me more. She's like, we have these 9-foot LED robots that come and dance on the dance floor and like break dance on the dance floor. And your brother was really excited about them, but they were just like, it didn't make sense with the budget. And I was like, yes.
Bingo.
Bingo. I
Wait,
was like,
they're 9 feet tall?
I don't remember. I think I said 9 foot because I just bought that 9-foot nutcracker. No, I think no, I'm sorry. I think they're taller. They walk around on stilts.
Wait, they like as in...
Oh, I got 2. So I told him my budget. First of all, these things are outrageous. Okay, let me tell you. At first, I was like, I want to put a couple grand in there. Like, I want it to be a big. Like, I love them. This is this is the most important wedding of the year for me. And she told me that for I think it was for for 2 robots, it was gonna be like $6,000 or something.
Wait, can you
for
pull
like an
these
hour.
up?
Yeah.
I have to see these.
So anyway, I got the discounted version. I got the t-shirt
it's from Alibaba. they like explode and it becomes a fire hazard.
They like glue those little glow sticks on them and like.
Wait, so I'm just so confused. These are robots.
But here's the thing: I haven't told them yet. And the thing I told them, and I'm really trusting the wedding planner here because I was like, listen, like, what if Olivia didn't want these?
Yeah.
Like, what if this was like Landon thought it was cool and Olivia was like, no, that's tacky. And she was like, no. Like, Olivia thought it was cool too. And I was like, okay, well, I'm trusting you because we're going to have 9-foot LED robots on the dance floor.
So is the moment that they are going to find this out, the moment these like come out from the smoke machine, like onto the dance floor and everyone's just like, what is this?
So I don't know. I haven't planned it out yet how it's going to happen. Maybe I just won't say anything. And I'll be like, I don't know. And if it goes over well, I'll be like, that was me.
Oh my gosh. I mean, Landon will for sure freak out. Everyone else is going to be in a state of utter confusion.
Let's see.
But it will get the party started. 100%.
100%.
So you're telling me those are robots or that's a costume that someone gets
Oh,
in?
yeah. I'm sorry. It's a costume that's what he gets in.
Okay. That's what I was confused about, Dani.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, you bought 9-foot robots? Like,
no, but look how cool they look. You don't like it?
No, it's
your face is not.
No, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Look, and they dance.
So you both had to hire someone to be on the stilts.
Yeah, that's why they were so expensive.
So,
man, this is a good market. If anybody's looking for a job, there's so many ways to make money these days. Oh my god.
You know how Jake Paul walks out with that robot when he boxes?
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of, and that's what it looks like. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that'll be me. I guess if they need a third one, I could suit up.
Babe, you can't do that. You got a bunch of hate for being on a ladder.
People are so upset about my ladder content. And I'm like, don't tell me what to do. Like, I'm a woman still. I'm not like going to be bedridden. It just, what's so crazy? I was looking back at Stratton's. What?
Nothing.
What?
It's just most of the time you are bedridden.
No, I know. It's true. It's true. But I was looking back at, you're not going to believe this. So I'm 30 weeks pregnant right now.
Yeah.
Or am I 31? Whatever. And I was looking back I was scrolling because, I always like to compare my pregnancies to just make myself feel horrible. To be like, wow, I was so fit with Stella and now look at me and, or the wrinkles the same. And one of the girls that I work out with was like, you look so different. Like it really aged you. Like she just told me straight up and I was like, mm-hmm.
What was it that Taryn said about your booty?
Oh yeah. She said I had a black girl booty right now. I'm sorry. And I was like,
she came up to me and said that too. And I was like, yeah. I
was like, I'll take it. It only happens like, when I'm pregnant. But anyway, so what was I talking about?
Where you were at with your 31 weeks with Stratton.
Oh, okay. So I was looking at my pictures when I was about 26, 27 weeks pregnant with Stratton. Do you know that's when I ran the 10K with Ellie? Like competitively, like at a very good pace. Like that was 4 weeks ago.
That's crazy.
4 weeks ago, I would have run a 10K and like done it, not just to finish it, like to get a good pace. And I wasn't even in pain. Do you remember 4 weeks ago I was like bedridden, like screaming from how much my back hurt?
Mm-hmm.
I've had so many problems this pregnancy.
So
But that's why, so this is my theory. I think it's a girl because I think that when you have a girl, and I'm totally making this up, this is not scientific. I think when you have a girl, more of those hormones, like the relaxin, is released. You have more estrogen maybe or something, and it loosens your muscle or your bones more, and so everything is more in pain and you're more nauseous, and it's just like it hits you more than like a boy. I think boys, you don't have as many hormones.
interesting.
So that's why I think remember with Stella, I was in a lot of back pain too and pelvic bone pain, and in Stratton I was running 10Ks.
I can't. Yeah, that's crazy.
Stratton, I didn't have the back pain. I barely went to the chiropractor until like the very, very like last month.
Sorry, my brain is like churning on if our family has another girl. Like I just can't picture it. I just picture Stratton with a brother.
Oh, see, I picture a girl, like a
So
sister.
weird.
I
I think you're wrong though.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see. It'll be very fun. You and my mom are like so convinced it's a boy, and but yeah, so we're excited for that. I've been trying to set up more for Christmas, get our Christmas card photos done. I always host Christmas, which will be interesting, hosting Christmas a month before I'm due.
Yeah.
I don't feel like people usually do that. But that will be fun. My Goey, we went to go see Goey.
Yeah.
So crazy, not to get like too deep, but
You can go deep.
okay. In the same week, my mom's mom had a stroke and like can't use her legs anymore and can't like talk or even kind of like breathe on her own. She's gonna have to be like fed through her stomach now. And so that was really sad. And then the same week, Goey went into hospice, but that's what my aunt and uncle called it, but it's like a nurse that's coming to her, but technically it's called a hospice. 'Cause she's 98. And here's the thing, we went to go visit her and she is so mentally there. Like she's telling us.
Oh my gosh.
She's telling us about how like when Eisenhower was president and Nixon and
Yeah.
And I was like, what'd you think about the debate? And she's telling me her opinions and she watches and reads everything, but she is now bedridden. She's like immobile and she's having a hard time eating. So that's why they've moved her to hospice. And you know, I call her, I'm like, hey, wait, just waiting for God to take me. I just want to go home. Like she's just so ready to go. And the thing is, I'm really close with Goey, and Goey has always been very close to me in my life. And so that will be really sad. But I also know that she's like in so much pain and she just wants to be with Jesus so bad. So I do feel like I'll have like peace about it, but it will be very, very sad because like she's my Goey. She's really the only grandparent I was like ever really close with.
Yeah. You know what's so interesting is that we talked about fluoride in the water.
Yeah, she's the one that used to call me and be like, are you brushing or are you drinking tap water? It's good for your teeth.
So she admitted though, because I talked to her about this and I was like, they just came out with these studies.
What are the odds that we talk about fluoride and then RFK makes all those posts about fluoride? We did not plan that.
Yeah, we did not plan this at all. Like I felt like we were so early on fluoride in this topic, and then everyone starts talking about fluoride. But anyway, I asked Goey about it, and she was like, yeah, at the time, like we just didn't know any better. Like I thought that that's what the government wanted us to do. And I said, how do you feel now? And she was like, I don't trust a single thing the government's ever done to me.
Goey always really trusted the government.
No, she really did.
She did.
It was the time.
But even when I was like in elementary school.
Yeah. The other thing that she said was that Nixon was a very, very popular president.
Yeah, everybody loved him, like beloved.
Yes, beloved president. And I've kind of felt like this. I've never like dug into this, but I've wanted to kind of revisit like the actual Nixon, because all we know about him is like Watergate. Like that's what he is branded as and known as.
One of my favorite influencers I follow, her name is Liz P. Woods. Do you follow her?
Well, she comes up on yours.
She comments on like pop culture and stuff, and she posted like a really funny tweet, and it was like the entire country like loved Nixon. Like he was like defied so many odds where everyone loved him. And it was like, imagine the imposter syndrome that Nixon felt, where he felt like he still had to commit Watergate, even though everyone loved him.
That he still had to commit.
That he
Watergate.
still went through, like with that Watergate happened. Like the fact that he was like so loved, yet he had so much imposter syndrome that still happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I think the only reason I'm struggling with this is like, I don't really know. I'm not going to comment on this because I don't know much about Watergate, but like, was it a setup?
Okay, we'll get into that next.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Like
but yeah, it was crazy that Goey like said that Nixon was so beloved.
Yeah.
And
I think it was like the whole
our
country.
interpretation of him is so branded differently.
Yeah, because of his
like
faults.
I grew up just being like, oh, Nixon was the evil president.
Yeah.
You know, we never heard about the other side.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to imagine someone like that is so mentally there. Mm-hmm. Like when I see her and, you know, everybody's like, she's in hospice. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm like, she's there though, 100%. I can't imagine someone being like so there, like passing away. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so prayers for Goey, and it would be amazing to have another Christmas with her. And I always tell her this because she's been saying since she was like 95, like every time I've called her, she's like, all my friends are dead. Like I'm just waiting for the good Lord to take me. And I vividly remembered second grade walking the hallways of Brentfield Elementary and praying to God, like begging God as like a second grader, please let my Goey live to be 100 years old. Please let my Goey be 100 years old. And so every single time she calls me and says that, I'm like, Goey, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I'm the one that did it. I've been praying, asking for you to live to 100. She's like, why'd you do that to me? Why'd you go and do that? So anyway,
she called me Jordan. She usually calls me Jason.
Yeah.
It's kind of a running joke at this point.
Even at the wedding.
Yeah, at the wedding. She's like,
it's okay. You look like a Jason.
I'm so proud that my Dani girl is marrying Jason. I was like, oh my gosh.
Besides Jordan's name, she's totally there.
Yeah.
So, and then the other, switching gears, I had a lovely time at my baby sprinkle. People were wondering, what's the difference between a baby shower and a baby sprinkle?
I was wondering the same.
They're just like, baby sprinkles are like a lesser version of a shower. I feel like a shower, you go all out. Like I didn't create a registry. I didn't it was just it's like a sprinkle.
Yeah. So like after 2 kids, you're like, let's just do sprinkles.
I had a sprinkle last one too, but to be honest, I didn't really want to do anything because, I just feel so sick and tired most of the time. And, but then my friends were like, you have to. Mm-hmm. So they did it and they planned it. There were like 10 people. It was so sweet.
It was meaningful, probably.
It was really meaningful. We just had good food, no pressure. Like it was the perfect baby sprinkle. And honestly, it really did. It was good for me because it like actually, I was like, whoa, like I'm having a baby, Yeah,
it hasn't really hit me yet either. But it usually doesn't hit me until like pops right out of there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, whoa, we have a baby.
But not knowing if it's a boy or girl really makes it hard to digest.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my life.
That's my life. That's me.
That's me.
If you've heard of Ozempic or Wegovy, you've probably heard 3 things. They're effective, but they're expensive, and they're hard to get. That's where Ro comes in. We've talked about Ozempic here on the podcast as it took the internet by storm and proved to be really helpful for those in need. With the heightened awareness of GLP-1s and what they can do for people who are overweight, it became harder to access. That's where Ro Body comes in. We're huge fans in this house of getting medical care and support you need conveniently. Through Ro, you can access prescription compounded GLP-1s with the same weight loss ingredient as brand names GLP-1s at a fraction of the cost. Ro has compounded GLP-1s in stock now. You can get it in 1 to 4 days if you qualify. Ro members have support throughout the entire process. If eligible for medication, patients have access to their provider on demand for any questions. And you can see if you qualify from the comfort of your own home. This means no scheduling a doctor's appointment, no commute to the doctor's office, and no waiting rooms, which may eliminate a barrier for someone a GLP-1 can help. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you in 1 to 4 days. Go to ro.co/Dani. The memberships start at just $99 for your first month. Medication costs are separate. That's ro.co/Dani. To learn more, go to ro.com/safety for black box warnings and full safety information. Compounded medication is not required to and does not receive FDA review or approval. RX only.
Ooh, guys, you know how much our family loves Minky Couture blankets. I'm most upset because Stella steals mine all the time, and she's never stolen my blankets before, but she's obsessed. I actually am going to order her like the kids version. They're seriously the softest, coziest blankets ever, and they just look so luxurious when you have them out on your sofa or in your bed. We have one just in about every room in our house, and so I can have one available at all times because that's how much we love them. Minky Couture is the creator of the original Hugs blanket, a stretchy, plush, and double-sided blanket that hugs you right back. That's so true. I didn't realize how much they have like a stretch to them. It really does feel like a hug. That's why our family loves them so much. Minky Couture is a female-owned business, love that, started by a mother who wanted to provide luxurious comfort to her daughter. Plus, they are also passionate about giving back to the community, donating over 30,000 mini Minkies to NICUs across the country every year. There are so many different colors and sizes. There's a Minky for everyone in your life, which means it is the perfect gift for loved ones this holiday season. Stella and Stratton love them so much that they have actually asked for the kids-sized ones for Christmas. It's seriously the best blanket ever. It's so soft, the most luxurious feeling and looking blanket I've ever owned. You guys have to try them, and right now you can get them for half off. Visit softminkyblankets.com and use code DINFLUENCE50 at checkout for 50% off of all full price blankets. That's softminkyblankets.com. Use code DINFLUENCE50 for 50% off of all full price blankets. Truly the best holiday Christmas gift for pretty much anyone in your family.
It is that time of year again. The cold is coming even in Texas, which is why I'm so excited to tell you about our recent pajama obsession, Cozy Earth Pajamas. Y'all know we are a sucker for good quality comfort, especially this far along in Dani's pregnancy and during the holiday season. This is the best time of year to lounge around with your family in pajamas, making new memories. Cozy Earth has the softest, comfiest pajamas for both men and women that are designed for those cherished moments of relaxation, ensuring you feel cozy and stylish all season long. Plus, y'all know we love our Cozy Earth bamboo sheet set. I actually found this on Reddit when we were looking for a solution to Dani's night sweats. We saw that these were recommended and we've never looked back. We absolutely love them and we think that they'd be a great gift for loved ones this holiday season. Their products have a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. You just can't go wrong. Visit cozyearth.com/Dani and use our exclusive 40% off code DANI to give the gift of luxury this holiday season. If you get a post-purchase survey, say that you heard about Cozy Earth from this podcast. Wrap the ones you love in luxury with Cozy Earth.
You know, with the wedding coming up, I thought we could maybe go into, a lot of people like on our podcasts or that follow us probably don't know about our love story.
Oh my gosh, let's go down memory lane.
Do you want to give a brief recap of how we met?
Yeah, I'll give my version and then you give your version.
We've already told the story, so just do a brief one.
Okay, so I definitely reached out to Dani on Facebook, which I don't think was weird.
I thought you were my cousin, my primo.
My primo.
My primo. Because your last name was Ramirez. I was like, oh, another one? I had no idea there's another one.
Looking back, it is pretty shocking that you ever responded to
and
my Facebook
I never
message.
Replied to, I was in a tanning bed.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I replied is I was so bored in a tanning bed that I was like, I'm going to go check my Facebook messages that I literally never check. And I was a senior. And I was just like, I'm going to do it because I have nothing else to do in this little tube. And I thought, my cousin reached out. I gotta meet this guy. And I think I clicked on you and it said that you worked for a company in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I was like,
San Antonio.
El
Mercado.
He probably works with he's like a second cousin or something. And I looked at you and I go, he doesn't look like my cousins.
No, realistically, I feel like we didn't know each other, but we knew a lot of the same people because we were like...
I did not know that many people that you knew.
Well, I knew the people that you knew, okay. I would say.
That makes more sense. I did not... You had zero mutual friends with me. Okay.
It's so funny because it's so true. But I knew like you were like friends with all of the popular Young Life kids. And
the popular like Christian kids.
Yeah, the popular Christian kids. That's a perfect way of saying it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I think the way I found you was on the Facebook newsfeed. I saw one of your videos. It was the
Meaning of Marriage.
The Meaning of Marriage. You were reviewing a Tim Keller book, and I was like, oh, popular Christian girl, very thoughtful. Like you reviewed the book, and it was like
I did.
I don't know why you did. It was very different than your other videos, wasn't it?
Not at the time.
Not at the time.
I talked a lot about like so when I first started making videos, all my videos were about things I wish a sister taught me. And I had gone to LA and met girls that were just talking about how they were going to have like 7 or 8 husbands. So I felt very called to share what I thought marriage was about. And I felt like it was a time in culture where like, you know, like sex was just like being thrown around. Like it was like whatever. Marriage was just like, oh, another husband. So I remember reading that book and be like, dang, like I feel like I need to tell people like what marriage is for.
Yeah. I think at the time when I saw you shoot that video.
Babe, I did a book review today.
You did it a day?
No, it's today. The Anxious Generation.
But at the time, like, I mean, yeah, you're right. But I mean, your career is so much more evolved than it was back then. Like, I mean, I went to your other videos and it was like not for me at all. It was like you like doing try on hauls and like makeup tutorials and things like that. But anyway, I saw that video and I remember the first thing I thought about you is I was like, oh, she's connected to a lot of cool people. And I just was so impressed with how thoughtful and smart you were talking about like that topic of, you know, what should a Christian marriage look like? It was, I don't think I had ever seen another female college girl like doing that before. And
making videos
or being so thoughtful and like processing such a pretty dense book, which was like The Meaning of Marriage. And so I was like, oh, she's got a really good head on her shoulders. And I don't remember what my first Facebook message said. Do you remember?
You want to pull it up?
Do you have it?
Well, yeah. I mean, doesn't Facebook store everything?
For some reason,
you told me that you invited me to go do a video shoot with all these UT football players.
Yeah, so I think my setup was pretty great. What I did was
you knew how to like, and then you had a puppy dog.
Yep, I pulled out all the stops. So I had.
Are we even friends on Facebook? Do you even have a Facebook?
I don't have a Facebook anymore.
Dang.
So it probably deleted my message.
Dang.
Did you ever screenshot it?
No. I wonder if it. Man, let's see. I mean, I haven't been on Facebook in forever. I don't even know how to get to your messages. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, speaking of Christmas gifts, speaking of the holiday season, it's that time of year and I'm so excited to be in the kitchen cooking. Okay, that's a lie. I'm not really excited to be in the kitchen cooking, but I have to. And if I'm going to do it, it's going to be for my kids. And it's all thanks to Caraway cook in their cooking set that I feel so confident and excited to be chefing it up for my fam. With the fall weather, I've been thinking about trying to cook some yummy fall recipes like super pasta. And with my Caraway pans being ceramic means it's easy to clean, even for recipes that require hours of simmering and roasting. Like, I don't know why, but every fall season I start to make chicken and dumplings. Remember I went really hard with that last year? Oh, yeah, so good. So good. Their chemical-free ceramic coating makes cooking and clean up easy, and it's non-toxic. Y'all know we are always trying to use non-toxic cookware in this house, and this cookware set is completely non-toxic and is made without any toxic materials like PFAS, PTFE, PFOA, or any other hard to pronounce chemicals. This means it's tornado approved too. As a mom, making sure I'm using non-toxic cookware in my house is a must, and this set makes me feel good about the meals we're giving our kids. Plus, they're so stinking cute. We got the cookware set in the white iconic color, and I'm obsessed with how they look in my kitchen. The set comes with the saute pan, fry pan, Dutch oven, and saucepan, plus lids for all of them, a canvas lid holder, and magnetic pan rack for storage. It's the ultimate kitchen setup, and it will save you $150 because you won't have to buy the items individually. That's a good set. With the holidays around the corner, the Caraway cookware set is the perfect way to feel good about the meals you're making, not only for your everyday life, but for those big holiday parties too. You know, I'm hosting Christmas here, so Mama's gonna get cooking. Also, you know, I'm having a Friendsgiving soon, and at first they put me on the bread, and I was like, guys, stop it. I want something harder. So I'm making a pie.
Wow.
So yeah. This cookware set is a perfect holiday gift for those who just moved into their first home, newlyweds, and first-time parents or even grandparents. The holidays are closer than ever, so get their gift or yours in time. Visit carawayhome.com/Dani to take advantage of this limited time offer for up to 20% off your next purchase. Again, that's carawayhome.com/Dani to get new kitchenware before the holidays. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
Speaking of making cooking for the holidays easier, I want to talk to you about Good Ranchers. The holiday is upon us and our schedules are busier than ever, which can make it extra hard to make sure we are eating good quality meats. This is where Good Ranchers come in. Y'all know both Dani and I love a product that is 100% American made, which means it's locally sourced and no seed oils, antibiotics, or hormones, so you can feel good with what you and your family are putting in your body. The best part is it comes directly to my door, and as working parents, this is a lifesaver for us. They send perfectly portioned cuts for everyday meals. It's also great for those big family get-togethers that the holidays can bring. And I personally love it because it is perfect for those of us on our health journey since they have a huge selection, including wild-caught salmon. Good Ranchers allows for you to have a home-cooked, healthy meal without the hassle of going to the grocery store. With Good Ranchers, I'm saving time, energy, and money during the busiest season of the year. It allows us to have more time with our kids and less time in long lines. It will also be a lifesaver once baby number 3 arrives this winter. And right now, if you subscribe to any box and use the code DANI, you'll get 25% off, free shipping, and a free add-on for a whole 4 years. That means when you subscribe to any of their boxes, you get to decide if you want extra plain chicken breasts, Angus ground beef, Applewood smoked bacon, or wild-caught salmon in every order for 4 years. It's the perfect way to ensure you always have high-quality American meat in your kitchen. Don't miss out. Use our code DANI to claim this promo worth over $1,200 and bring 100% American meat to your meals through 2028. GoodRanchers.com, American meat delivered.
What were you saying?
So I was running the marketing for a tech startup at the time, which means I had a budget and I had a nice camera. And I was doing a commercial shoot and I said, you know what? I said, I think I should invite this girl to see if she wants to come. And I knew you weren't going to come for me. And so I invited 2 of the UT football players, Sam and Emmanuel?
The Ocho brothers.
Both the Ocho brothers.
Who were like
at
big
the time.
time at the time.
Big time. I mean, he's like a sportscaster now.
Yeah.
And, I said, hey, we have a red camera, which is like a very expensive camera.
Which I had just learned what a red camera was because I was out at YouTube Space and they had told me it was like $100,000 camera. And this is back in the era of influencing when, I couldn't even hire a videographer or hire a photographer because no one understood the business of creator. So if I tried to hire a videographer or photographer, it would have cost me thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. When I'm just trying to make another video for a Tuesday, like I don't need to spend thousands of dollars on production. I have like $100 budget, So Jordan's over here offering me he's like, you can come shoot on a red camera. He said, I think I DM'd you back and I was like, can I have the footage for my channel? And you were like, yes. And it was going to be workout footage. And I was like, oh, I'll do like a workout vlog or something. And then he said, you're going to meet football players. And I was like,
so I was like, hook.
Yeah.
And then the line was like, you can share the footage. And then the sinker was, I had at the time, Hazel was probably like 6 weeks old. So like this miniature
cute
golden retriever puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And I also don't know if you ever acknowledged this, but I showed up late.
Yeah, you weren't
like
there.
Fashionably late.
I honestly wasn't looking for you.
That's so true.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't notice that you weren't there.
Yeah.
I was actually more upset that the Ocho brothers weren't there. You guys brought in a football player from like Texas Tech, and like I was like, "Ooh, Texas Tech! Like I'm not marrying somebody from Tech."
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah, I was very disappointed. And he was cute. Like I was like, oh, maybe. But then he went to Tech, and I was like, absolutely not. Like I'm marrying Longhorn. Like I was like, and then Chris Burke was there.
Yeah.
And then some other guy with Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, red hair.
Right, long hair.
Yeah. Red hair.
And I really liked Ryan a lot.
Oh no! It was the photographer.
Ryan. His name was Ryan.
Did he have red hair or black hair?
He had blonde hair. He was a little bit skinnier.
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
He was nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was kind of open for him. But no, like the funniest thing about it was you told me it was gonna be a workout video, and they brought a bicycle, and if anybody that really knows me knows I do not do well on 2 wheels. And so I had to they followed me on the back of this truck while I was running, like jogging. And this footage ended up being amazing. Like, I don't know where it is. It's on one of my hard drives.
Yeah, it is.
And riding a bicycle, wearing this wearable, this like fitness wearable.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I had no intention. You were not even on my radar, but I was leaving and you had set up a picnic blanket. And, you know,
I set up a picnic blanket?
And you were sitting there with Hazel.
Okay.
And,
I was also, you were like, did you walk here? And I was like, oh yeah, I live right there at Sky House.
Yeah, it did not impress me. Like I was not interested at all. But your dog, Hazel, was like, I mean, I'm telling you, like, love at first sight. I was like, I know that this person will be in my life because of this dog. Like I was so obsessed with Hazel. And, so yeah, then I don't remember how we like connected again after that. Like I don't remember the next time we spoke.
No, I think the next time that we
was it the date?
Yeah, it was the date.
Oh, but I was going on dates with this other guy at the time, Andrew Gary.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The fly fisherman. I think he's a fly fisherman.
I think he is. I don't know.
Dang, talk about a guy who could teach your kids to hunt.
Yeah, he's very outdoorsy, and he was very like involved in like the Christian.
Yeah, he was part of the cool guys.
Yeah,
for sure.
And he was he was in a fraternity.
Yeah.
Was it SIGUP? Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. And he was friends with like all my friends. And but it's funny, we were friends all through college, and I never ever like looked at him or thought of him as like in a romantic way. And then one night we were at a party, we just started making out. It was crazy.
You were like, this is crazy.
Crazy.
I used to have a herp plan. Look at me now.
But it was funny because we were like best friends like for 4 years. And then it almost was like weird. It was like weird. I was like, you're like my brother. Like, this is not okay. So anyway, I don't think I ever thought I was going to actually marry him. But, you know, I was a senior, kind of bored.
In that season of life, where were you at? Were you just like looking to have fun and date someone? Or were you like,
No, I've never, ever been like the girl that's like, I'd want to date to just have fun.
Right.
Like I would have, if anything, I would have, my two options were like, go pursue my career and like make a name for myself. But if I am going to date someone, like it's going to be my husband.
Yeah.
Like I was never like, have a boyfriend. It just made that made absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah.
It just was not something I would have done. So, but I honestly didn't think that I was going to meet anyone because I had been at UT for 4 years and I hadn't met anyone that I really thought I would marry. So I always assumed it was going to be somebody I met outside of school.
Yeah.
But I was very much on I was the opportunistic girl. Like if there was a boy,
you're a hustler.
Yeah. If there was a boy that I liked or that was like interested in me, like I always like gave it a chance where like I would have the conversations. I would go on the date. I was not like picky whatsoever.
I think early on, like what intimidated me the most probably about you was that you definitely weren't like desperate to get married, which sometimes happens in like the Christian girl circle. You know, you can just kind of like, I feel like guys can kind of tell like, hey, you're looking for a husband.
Yeah.
And you were not that easy to impress, in my opinion, because you had such a weird life. Like you were like going back and forth from LA. You had this.
I was also dating that like famous Frisbee player.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. He was on ESPN on our third date. And I was like, you're like, oh, that's my ex-boyfriend. And I was like, oh, all right. And you know, what's hard, I think what was hard about dating you is that I think that my whole shtick would have worked with like a lot of people, but it didn't work with you. Like you didn't really care that, or maybe you did, like you didn't care that I was,
I'll tell you what I liked. I liked that you were so ambitious. Like I liked that you.
Yeah, but I was like not like.
But I didn't
trying,
care.
But I was like.
No, you weren't like successful. Like you weren't like, oh my God, I'm gonna marry this guy and he's gonna take care of me. It was not. But I never really cared about that. Like I never cared about money or someone's like job or anything. Like I just cared so much about like what. Like, do they have like that hustle culture? Like, do they have dreams for themselves? Like, do they have a future that they're picturing and they're moving towards. Like that was always ambition was the most attractive thing to me. And I didn't care if you wanted to be like the principal of a school or be president of the United States. Like I was just like, you have to have something that you're working towards. And I had dated so many guys that just didn't know, and they were smart and they were like, had great opportunity and they were like totally qualified and capable, but they just didn't care. They didn't have like that heart. And like, I wanted that so badly. Like that was like so attractive to me. And so you had all these ambitions. And I remember like our first date, you're like, I want to buy my mom a house. I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. I have this dog because I'm like, it's really teaching me like how to like manage my time, and like I think it's like great for like when I'm a future dad. Like you had all of these things that you were doing.
I was like going somewhere.
You were going somewhere, and trust me, you weren't anywhere yet.
No, that's what is so crazy. Like I think that's why I don't like to talk about the story of how we met, because I think it like triggers this weird imposter syndrome in me where I'm like, okay, wait, like I thought and I believed deep in my soul I could get there, but like I was wearing those uncool jeans and the boots, and like I just like wasn't, it's like I was trying, but it was like so off, you know?
No, it wasn't. It's not true. That's a lie, because then that would mean that it was all for nothing. Like at least you were doing those things. Like you weren't stuck in the past. Like you were always like
evolving.
Like you were putting on a suit every single day and you worked from home.
That's true.
You were like manifesting, even though we're not really into like manifesting. Like you were like being the person that you wanted to be, even though you weren't that person yet.
I still, I still am trying to get to the essence of like, because to me, you know, when we talk about how we met, it just feels like such a divine story.
It's so random.
I'm very secure in our relationship now. Like, but like and I'm not saying this to like fish for compliments. Like I truly don't understand what caused you to follow through at the time.
I know. I think about it too sometimes. It's so, but no, like I know.
It's so crazy. And
no,
it's,
like,
and you had issues too. Like,
yeah, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I mean, like that one night you like showed up and we're standing over my bed at like 2 in the morning.
Sorry.
That was scary.
No, I know. I wasn't perfect. We both had issues.
We both had issues. And it's just like, but it was always, I look back and I never can remember a single time where I felt any doubt that after a certain point, and I remember my point of like, I'm going to marry this person. Like I remember when it was, I want you to guess.
No.
We went to Dripping Springs. Do you remember?
Colorado?
No, Dripping Springs, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, the date at the cabin or something?
At the cabin, yeah. That was when I was like, oh, I'm going to marry this person.
Why?
Because I want to say that was that the first time that I told you that I loved you?
Probably.
I think it was.
We didn't even like do anything that special.
Yeah.
But what was it? Like, what was it?
I think that
What?
Nothing. Come here.
No.
Come here.
Just say it.
No, I can't say it.
Okay, well then just say it after. I can't reach over there. My stomach.
So I think that it was the first time that like, you know, we did very like it felt like the first, like we went to the grocery store together, like we cooked like breakfast and lunch and dinner together, like we just sat outside and we talked, and I was like, oh, like this is the difference between like dating someone just like fun in the city and like actually building a life with someone. And I think ever since that moment in time, I was like, there's no doubt in my mind that this is the person I want to actually like build a life with, you know?
What month was that?
I don't remember.
It was cold outside?
It was a little cold outside.
My story's a little different.
Be nice.
No, I like, okay. I met our first date. We went to San Antonio.
Uh-huh.
I came back and I went on a cruise with my family. Was that for New Year's? Yes.
Uh-huh.
For New Year's. Okay. So talk about being nice. I told my parents on the cruise, I was like, I'm probably going to marry this guy. And they're like, you literally went on one date with him. I was like, ugh, I know. I'm just telling you, like, he's everything that I want. Like he's
Meanwhile,
crossed
I'm like,
no, No, I was like, I was so sure. And they're like, really? Sport coat? That's what they always called you, sport coat?
Yeah.
My dad and my brother, because you always wore a sport coat.
Yeah.
Did that hurt your feelings?
No. I mean, it's just like still trying to get into their good graces. Not a groomsman in the weddings.
Okay. Oh my gosh, stop him. Man, that was just okay. So, yes, on the cruise, I was like, I'm probably gonna marry this guy. Now, I was not in a rush to get married at all, and I was like, we'll probably date for 5 years, and then get married. Like, I was just like, but it will probably happen.
But
And
didn't that was the Greece cruise?
uh-huh.
But that happened like after, no?
That was New Year's.
That's right. Okay, yeah, it was pretty early on.
That was New Year's, and so I was like, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna marry him. Now, I think after that, we went on the trip to Colorado skiing.
No, it was before that.
Okay, well, around that time, we okay, I remember now. Now I remember. So Jordan had been on a medication.
Oh, the antidepressants? Yeah.
Yes. We had gone on a couple of dates, and I just felt like this guy, I'm like, why are you even inviting me around? Like, I went on a ski trip with his friends, and his friends were more touchy with me and like more friendly and smiley and had more fun. And like, I was just like, this guy it's such a bummer because he's everything I want, but like his personality sucks. Like, he's like, no, he's not really there. You were kind of like a shell of a person.
No, I was like emotionally I have a lot to say about like SSRIs because like it really like messed up my brain.
You didn't need them and you were on them. And so then the crazy thing is your best friends from high school were there, and you were like, we would all be hanging out having so much fun, and you would go to your bedroom and just be by yourself, and you were like constantly working or whatever. And so one of your guy friends in the kitchen was like, man, I overheard them. Like, I wasn't supposed to hear it. And they were like, man, he's just not the same person. He's like a shell of a person. Like, I don't even know who he is. And so then I was like, man, okay, something is going on. Like, but I didn't know what it was. So after that trip, I told Jordan, I got home and I was like relieved to get home from the ski trip. And I told my dad, and I remember I had called you right after it, and I was frustrated because like your friends would be like, Dani, like, let's ski down this mountain together. Or like they would try to sit next to me to like ask me about my life, and I got nothing from you. So after that trip, I was pissed. I was like, this guy made me go all the way to Colorado. He doesn't even like me. And so I think like you had texted me or something, and I got on a phone call with you, and I told you, I was like, yeah, I don't think that this is really going to go anywhere. I basically was like trying to end it.
Yeah.
And you were like, give me one more second chance. He's like, I have a reason why I think this is all happening. And you didn't tell me in that moment, but you basically just were like, give me a second chance. And I was like, okay, like I got nothing better to do. I was like, fine. I did not really expect for it to go anywhere. But shortly after that, I think you had opened up to me about this medication you were on and decided to get off of it.
Yeah.
And it was like, as soon as you got off the medication, you were like a different person.
Yeah.
Like you were like Jordan, you know? And so honestly, like, man, that's why I look back and I'm like, man, it is crazy that we ended up together because.
No, I mean, honestly, it was such a oddly like dark period in my life. Like, that's why I think it's like hard when at parties people are like, how did y'all meet? Like, because obviously I love you so much and like I am so blessed to have this life with you, but like it's a true miracle of like grace that like you were weathering all of those things during that time. Because
yeah, I haven't had my problems too. You're weathering my problems too. But
yeah,
but the fact that both of us were putting up with each other, it was like we were fighting for something that wasn't even really there. Like,
but we were, and it's just like it's a crazy like divine story of grace. But like, yeah, it's crazy how dead I was inside.
You were literally dead.
I was a shell of a person.
You know, all your friends said it too. And so I knew that there was something, like there was an old Jordan and a new Jordan. I knew that I wasn't dealing with like the real Jordan.
Do you remember if I like got off them like that?
Yeah.
I think I did.
Immediately.
Because I think that like my friends ended up telling me too, like, hey, like something's wrong.
You were literally not there. Like,
I had this doctor in Austin, and I think it's like, you know, when it comes to like things like Adderall or SSRIs, I think it's like why I just don't trust the system so much is like I literally would go to this person, random psychiatrist, and I would just be like, yeah, like I'm feeling sad. And he'd be like, oh, yeah. Like, and he would ask me like 3 questions. And then he kept like increasing the script. And I think at the time, like I was on, you know, like, and I'll be honest, like, you know, getting out of school and like transitioning into adulthood was already hard. And so I think that that's when I like got on them, but I started at like 25 milligrams or 50, and I abused them because like I kept being like, oh, like I love this feeling. Like I don't feel any anxiety. I don't feel sad. I don't feel any of this stuff. And then I would increase the dose, and then my body would regulate to 200 milligrams. And then by the time I knew it, I was on like more than the prescription actually said. And I didn't know, like all I knew was like, oh, I'm not feeling any anxiety.
Yeah.
And I'm incredibly productive. And so like I'm very successful at my job. And I would like be able to work for so long too.
But then you were like, give me a second chance. You got off of them, and it was like an instant turnaround, and it's always been that way ever since. And like, so then I went on the cruise and I was like, I'm gonna marry this guy. And then I did.
Wow. You know, what's so weird is, have you felt like I've been a shell of a person lately?
A little bit.
Damn. Okay. Well, so like when we went through that deal, like I got really anxious
Again.
And so like I started like taking like a smaller dose, but I felt like kind of a shell of a person. Well, when we went through that deal, like I was so anxious, like, because, you know, like,
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was so much. And I just like was not in a good place with it. And I literally was like, how am I going to even survive getting through this anxiety? Like it felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. So I went back onto the SSRI, but I think it was a different one. I don't remember what it was like 7 years ago, but like, and I think what happens is if I'm on it for too long, I become a shell of a person.
Well, that is what a lot of
SSRIs do.
Well, okay, so for me, like, no, because like when I'm depressed, it brings me back to life. Am I on an SSRI?
Yeah.
Lexapro?
Yeah.
Is that an SSRI?
Yeah.
Oh, no. See, I'm telling you, I think this is probably why you don't need it, because like Lexapro for me, it was like I was a shell of a person.
Yeah.
I had no even like I remember like even like libido wise or like affection wise or whatever, like a lot of like when I started taking my Lexapro when I was postpartum, it brought all of that back to life for me. Like I just felt like a normal person. I didn't, and I don't feel like I can conquer the world or strung out or like energy or anything. In fact, I could still sleep 4 hours on that thing.
So I just asked ChatGPT, what happens if you take an SSRI if you're not depressed? Changes in mood and emotion.
Babe, let me tell you something. Look at me.
Side effects.
Look at me.
Yeah.
You're not depressed.
I think
You might be anxious though.
I'm so anxious.
No,
I was
you might
like
be
really
anxious.
struggling.
I mean, I just don't think that you're close to being depressed.
Well, at the time,
like I know what depression
is.
is.
The same thing?
No, they're very different. Depression is because I would say I struggle with more depression than anxiety.
Yeah.
I know what anxiety feels like. Like
it's horrible.
It's like the elephant sitting on your chest.
Yes,
like,
it's horrible.
You can't get a deep breath.
Like
and in fact, I think that sometimes an SSRI can maybe make you more anxious sometimes.
Yeah.
Depressed is like my body aches, migraines. I don't want to be here.
Headaches.
I want to lay in bed because I don't understand the purpose of life. What's the point? I'm a burden on everyone. You just feel heavy. Like it's to even get up and go pee is like running a marathon. Like it is so painful to just do like the everyday tasks in life. And that's not you. But I do think you're anxious.
Yeah, I think I'm a very anxious. I think I inherited it from my family.
I think, no, honestly, first of all, the Anxious Generation book talks about this, is there's so many factors that go into anxiety. Yeah. And it's a lot of times it's not necessarily genetic. A lot of times it's like the environment that we put ourselves in.
So I agree. I think that there was a season where maybe I needed it this year because the stakes and the pressure and the stress was like literally unbearable. But I think that me prolonging it, I think my fear in getting off of it at this point, because I think about it probably every night. Like when I take the SSRI, I'm like, do I really need this? Like, I think that anxiety, that elephant on your chest is so scary to go back to that I'm like, I would rather flirt with like being numb than going back to that, because I feel like at least I'm a better dad or whatever than having to, like, it's just like, it's an easy out, you know?
Totally. I get it.
And so that's like, I think why, and I'm sure this is like hopefully relatable to some people, because I'm sure people struggle with this. Like there's side effects to all of these SSRIs, and it's like you were just literally
It's any drug, really.
weighing the pros and cons of the side effects versus the benefits, right? And so,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah. I
Life.
yeah.
It's really hard. I'm not going to lie to you. But, you know, I think the ultimate goal would be to get off of everything. Even for me, one day I would love to get off of my Lexapro.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't even feel that ish anymore. Like, honestly, I don't even think it helps. I don't think it hurts or helps. Like, I think I just take it because I'm like, I don't want to deal with like the side effects. But like,
Well, you also take Zyrtec every day, which you're really
now Zyrtec. I need to get off that ish.
Yeah, that
stuff. When I don't take it for one day, I get itchy, like so itchy.
Yeah, you're
and
gonna
like,
have to wean yourself off Zyrtec.
I'm so scared, and like, there's been like 3 or 4 days where I run out of it, and like you've seen me, I'm just like itching all day, and it drives me nuts. And I don't even really think I have allergies. I'm just addicted to Zyrtec because Big Pharma got me on it.
Yeah, here's the last thing I'll say about our love story. I don't think I've ever told you this. Like, I think that the reason I don't like talking about our love story is because that version of myself, like I've never hated another version of myself more than that version of myself when we first started dating.
What? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, I hated my version of myself too, but why do you look back at it with so much disgust?
I don't even like remember that state. It's almost like I've purged it from my memory because like I was so unhealthy, so depressed, like, and that's not who I am. Like I'm a very like, if I have an issue, I will power through and I'll find solutions. Like, and I was so you know, and it's like,
I'm like, that's the man I fell in love with.
No, I know. And I think that like the reason I don't like to talk about that era is because, and this is like really deep psychological stuff, is like, I'm afraid that if I go back to that era when you first met me, it's almost like you will realize like what you got yourself into.
No.
Does that make sense? Like I'm happy with myself now, but it's like, there's probably an imposter syndrome to it, to where it's like, oh man, like,
I get it.
I bamboozled you, you know, like, you know, into this whole thing.
That is.
Have you ever realized that?
No.
Me neither. I just realized that.
Okay, but you know, I mean, this is for a whole nother podcast or maybe a book or something, but you know, I had my issues too.
Yeah, I know. But like yeah, of course.
But here's the thing about me and this is maybe why this comes full circle. It's like when I always thought about my husband when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like, I always knew that where I started with my husband was not going to be where I ended. Like I knew that I was not marrying like the end version of a person. I was marrying like the beginning of a life with someone. Like we were going to start at point A and we were going to go to point G together and then Z together. Like, and so I wasn't trying to marry this like perfect person. It was just someone that I knew that I could grow with and I had potential with. And so I knew that you had problems. I knew that. I remember like marrying you or like getting engaged to you, and I was like, so okay, we're gonna start running together. I'm gonna, he's gonna lose all that baby fat. And then I remember being like, okay, so, and then he dresses this way, like, don't worry, like I can fix that. Like it's not like, I remember being like, there are things that are going to change, and like he prioritizes work. Okay, we're gonna have to like really work on like work-life balance, and like we'll figure that out together. Like I was like, but the fact that you were willing to grow and listen and change was like more important to me than who you were at that moment.
Yeah.
So I don't ever look back at it and be like, oh, it's bamboo. Like I knew exactly what I was signing up for, and I loved that about you.
I would say it the same way.
You're being hard on yourself.
Yeah, for sure. But like I guess I would say the same thing about you too. Is I was like, I didn't see the Dani now. Like I saw the Dani who was like the mother of my children, and like, I saw the future we would have when we're 60, and like I kind of saw the whole evolution of everything. Yeah,
you see the potential.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's hard for me with a lot of my single girlfriends that are looking for these perfect guys. And I'm like, yeah, and there might be some perfect guys out there, but let me tell you, like that's few and far between. And a lot of times, like you get the best out of a man when you marry them. Like it takes a woman to like pull the best parts out of them.
I agree.
And the same thing with probably a female too. Like you're going to get the best parts of me when you marry me and I become a mother. You're going to pull out those like those little hidden parts of me that I didn't even know that I had. And so, so yeah, I just see sometimes I feel like so many girls are dating for perfection. Oh, I don't like the way he dresses, or I don't like his friends, or I don't like his job, or he doesn't make enough money, or he's not this or that. Okay, does he have ambition? Like, does he care about his family? Like, does he care about relationships in general? Like all of those things can change and evolve, you know, but what are the things that like can't change? And it's really like those character and like his heart that you really can't change. And you had everything that I wanted.
Yeah.
And more.
No, it's crazy. You're right.
So
we just fixed modern dating.
Yeah.
On this pod.
Mic drop. Well, thank you guys for listening to this episode. I hope we changed some lives. Feel free to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Influence Podcast. We love you guys and we'll talk to you later. Bye.